Oh, right, here we are, week 175. So, what's happened this week? Firstly, I received my new DOS dose, because if you remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago, those little X1 D&D, whatever they're called, single head dosing pumps, dumped a load of trace A in the tank, 2.5 litres. Not sure over what time period it did it, but basically I binned the pump and I used the dose that I bought for that tank downstairs, so it's now dosing, I think it's 30 ml a day, I think, a dose. So when I had the little pumps, I was dosing 15 mils in one hit twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, or in the afternoon rather. Now I'm using this because I trust them a lot more. I've spread the trace dosing of the A and the K's out, so I think it doses like 1 mil every whatever. So it starts at 8 in the morning, goes through to I think 5 at night, dosing the A and the K. So it seems to be working fine. The tank seems to be recovering from the overdosing of the traces. I won't say massive amounts of difference, but some of the corals, the sulky, my indicator coral, which is my Duncan, is looking probably as happy it has done for months actually. Still not perfectly happy, but it's looking better anyway. Yeah, I've got some nice growth tips on a lot of that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm still trying to dial in the phosphates, so I'm slowly increasing the amount of lanthanum. I reduced it right back, and now just, I think last week I was dosing 14 mil a day. I've just upped it, so I'm now dosing 18 mil a day, which is basically back where I was ages ago. So yeah, I'll just check it in a few days and see where we are. So that's that. Trace element mixing, I am slowly gathering my chemicals. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've got whatever that is, I can't remember. Yeah, 5. Yeah, so basically I've got the fluoride, the iodide, the selenium, molybdenum, and the bromide. So I'm waiting for vanadium. I think that's it, isn't it? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm waiting for 2. Hopefully they'll turn up this week and I can make my first batch. I can't remember what I said last week because I've got a memory, but I've decided that I need to, I was trying to peg the concentration, trying to work out where to make it. So basically I've worked out what the natural seawater levels for these traces are, and initially I timed it by 10, then I timed it by 20, now I've timed it by 100. So the concentration I'm going to make in the 5 litres is 100 times that found in natural seawater. The main reason I've done that is because they are, particularly the selenium, is so low. It's such a small amount found in seawater that I couldn't physically weigh it out. So I had to keep timesing it up just to get to a weight. I mean, I could have weighed it out, but it meant I'd have to spend about £1,000 on some lab grade scales to weigh it, which kind of defeats the object really. I don't know what concentration the solutions are made up when you buy them, the shop bought ones, I've got no idea. But so I'm working on 100 times natural seawater, and then I will just ICP the results when I start dosing and just work out basically where I need to dose, how much I need to dose. So I've been asked why I'm doing it, why bother? And there's no other reason really. I mean, I don't want to spend 240 quid every 4 or 5 months on trace elements, if I'm honest, but I could if I'm, you know, it's just more about, I don't know, I just like to tinker really. I haven't really got a reason, I just like to tinker, I just like to do stuff, part of the hobby really. It's what I enjoy doing. Yeah, so that's the reason really. I just like to work stuff out, see if it's easier for me. I mean, I think it'd be really easy actually. Once I get that initial set of chemicals in and I make it up and I work out through ICP where to dose, I think it's going to be just a really simple thing to do. And then I'll just move over to the K, and then maybe, you know, a few years down the line when I'm really nailing into me AQUAHs, if I ever get to that stage, I can tinker with the balance or the ratios of those trace elements, work out if I need them all, work out what's more important. Yeah, so it just allows me, if I know exactly what's in there and exactly how much I'm putting in, it's just very easy for me to tweak it and mess around with stuff. And messing around with stuff is what I like to do basically. So that's why I'm doing it really. Yeah, so that's where I am with that. So hopefully next week I can mix up a batch. So I'm just going to make it 5 litres in RO. I've worked out the order I need to mix it in, so technically it should be quite simple really. I'm not going to dose it though, because I am, I think, 2 weeks away from going away for 12 days. So I'm going diving, going to Komodo, which is Indonesia, just a few islands along from Bali really. But it's new to me, so I'm looking forward to that. So I do not want to start dosing a homemade DIY trace element mixture before I go away. So at the moment the tank is again in sort of cruise mode. I'm not really doing anything. I want to try and nail the phosphates in before I go away. The water change system's now dialed in, so with the new peristaltic tubes I've managed to get the in and the out pretty bang on, so hopefully that'll just run while I'm away. Yes, I'm just, next week I guess I will do those things which I need to make sure are going to be good for when I'm not here. So I want to clear that weir out, because I always forget to do that. Those little fine combs get clogged up with algae, so I'm going to take that out, make sure it's all clear, make sure there's enough filter fleece to last the 2 weeks I'm away, renew the reagents in the Trident, whether they need it or not. I'll just tell them I'm replacing them and I top them all up to the top, so I know that's good. I will probably top the bio pellets up in the reactor and just make sure everything I'm dosing is full up and enough to last for 2 weeks. So the only problem I have really when I go away with dosing is the Kalk, because I can't get enough in the stirrer to last me 2 weeks, which is slightly annoying really. Kalk's great to dose, but it's just, you can't get, or I can't anyway, not in the space. I can't get enough in the stirrer to last for 2 weeks, which means dog's pushed his ball under the tank down there and he's now just moaning because he can't get it out. Anyway, I wasn't saying, yeah, so the Kalk, yeah, so there's one thing annoying about the Kalk stirrer is I have to top it up every 3 or 4 days really, just to keep it dosing at a nice kind of level rate. So obviously when I'm away, I do have the option of balancing it out with dosing the sodium hydroxide, or I could ask the tank sitter, also known as my wife, to dump some calcium hydroxide in the stirrer. That's just messy. I don't think she's going to enjoy that. So I might just have to bump up the dose of the sodium hydroxide as the Kalk stirrer loses its strength basically. Yes, that's the main thing that's a pain with that really. It makes me kind of want to look at alternatives to dosing Kalk in the long term. I don't know. I guess because obviously I'm just trying to think while I'm sitting there stuttering in front of the camera. It's becoming more of an issue, I guess, because of the uptake. The corals are growing and the uptake is getting greater and greater all the time, I suppose. So it lasts shorter and shorter amount of time without having to top it up. Because I used to be able to go, I was just trying to think back, because a couple of years ago I used to be able to go away, I could dump a load of stuff in the Kalk store and it'd be good for the whole 10 days that I was away. But now it only lasts like 3 or 4 days before I need to pump it up. So I guess that's just, you know, because of the consumption really. So yeah, I need to look at it. I think I can't, not that I'm aware of, I don't think they do bigger stirrers. I suppose technically I could use 2 stirrers. Could I? Yeah, I suppose I could, couldn't I? It's a very expensive answer to the solution, but anyway. Yeah, so yes, that's right. So the tank is popping along. It's looking pretty good actually. I think it's over the trace element blip. I'm hoping it is. You know, most corals look good. There's always a couple you're going, yeah, could be better. I still think that, oh, it's called that. Valida, is it? Oh, I'm not sure, I don't know. That one looks really happy, that one looks really unhappy, so I don't know. But yeah, on the whole, they're growing and going in the right direction. Darren came around and collected his barrels Saturday. We came in, he's a witness. He saw my powder blue rip a great big chunk out of that Goni. So I definitely know it's the powder blue that's doing it. He only seems to pick on that one Goni. And he's literally just done it as I'm talking about it. There's a massive patch on that Goni which is completely retracted, and he's just gone over and just ripped a whole head off of it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even think he eats them. I don't know what he does with them, but yeah. So I mean, it's a big Goni, and he only seems to pick on one side of it. So I don't know whether he's going to kill that eventually or not. To be honest, yeah, he's proper going for it there. Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, the powder blue is going to stay. So we've got to either survive or it won't. So that's where I am. Yeah, so I think that's it, guys. That is, oh, so yeah, so next Saturday we've actually got the AQUAH. No, AQUAH? AQUAH. Yeah, AQUAH up in Stoneleigh. So I will be going to that. So I'm sure I will meet plenty of people there. So that'll be quite good. Convict Tang's still doing his thing. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, AQUAH should be quite good. Got no idea how many actual reef people are going to be there. My feeling is there's going to be more freshwater and reptile and amphibian people there. But I don't know, I could be pleasantly surprised. But normally I think those hobbies are bigger than ours, so it makes sense to think there's going to be more of that persuasion than the saltwater people. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be good. Some new vendors there to look at. I'm sure I'm going to meet some new people, so that's good. So I can't think of anything else. So I'm going to do my water change now, and that is it. It's proper rip that Goni up. Yeah, it's weird. It's been coming back as well really nicely, so I don't know if he went off the taste of it and then he's just discovered it again, but yeah, it's not happy. Right. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so I'm rambling. So I will see you, just mentally checking myself to see whether I've forgotten anything. La 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 la. No, I think I'm good. I'll put a video out on that tank, by the way. Oh, just a little add on. Made my first spawning video on that tank. I don't want to do crossovers, so I'm just making you aware there's one out there if you're interested. So feel free to watch it. Right, now I will see you next week.